All right, it's game number 17. The Boston Celtics are coming off of their biggest win of the season over the champion Golden State Warriors and are looking to make it 15 straight in the ATL. Welcome into the Celtics pregame report for CLNS Media. I'm your host, Josue Pavone, and my guest is Brad Rowland of SB Nation's Peachtree Hoops. Brad, I appreciate you for checking in.
Oh, it's no problem at all. Always happy to talk about some Atlanta Hawks basketball. Even if it's not the most fun season so far, there's some positive sides on that team.
So, the Hawks enter tonight's game, as you just alluded to, losers of 4 of their last 5, including the last time they faced the Celtics in Atlanta, which wasn't too long ago. But throughout those losses, there hasn't been any blowouts. What's been the story throughout this stretch?
Yeah, this has been a team that I think has been sort of underperforming in terms of their record, just because they've lost a bunch of close games, as you said. They've been pretty much competitive in most games. I think most of that's because they really try. You know, a lot of teams that are sort of destined for the lottery do not appear to be giving full effort all the time. Whereas this Hawks team, I think, is pretty well coached by Mike Budenholzer, and they have a lot of guys who are prideful that want to win games. You know, they're sort of set up to not be the most competitive team this year, given the way that they sort of approached the offseason. But they're really trying to hang around. That usually lends itself to being competitive. And also, you know, their last game, they actually ended up blowing out another team on the positive side with the win over the Sacramento Kings by about 46 points. So yeah, they're trying hard, and if they catch teams on the wrong night, they're capable of sort of rising up and getting a win or two.
Hey, Brad, give me an update on rookie John Collins, because I think there's something special about this kid. I really like his game. What has impressed you the most so far?
Yeah, Collins has been great. You know, the Hawks got him number 19 overall. I think he's definitely overperforming that so far. He's just sort of a menace on the glass more than anything on the offensive glass. He really flies around. He's a high-end athlete. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Been playing mostly center this year, but when you're as athletic as he is and as active as he is, you can make up for a lot in that way. I think he's averaging about 10.7 rebounds a game in pretty limited time. You know, it's about 20 minutes a game. So if you push that out over a full-time workload, the numbers are pretty good as well for Collins. And he's not lost on defense either. That was one of the big concerns with him, is that he couldn't defend early on, especially in college. But he's been at least giving effort on that end and sort of learning in a fast way. So yeah, the Hawks are really happy with him. It's tough to not be.
This edition of the Celtics pregame report is being brought to you by DraftKings.com. Head over to DraftKings.com and use the promo code CLNS for a free sign-up with your first deposit for your share at $10,000 in total prizes and win some serious cash. That's DraftKings.com. Use the promo code CLNS and get yourself paid. So, a particular halftime show has gone viral, and it's not in a good way. 21 Savage certainly had a cringeworthy performance at the Phillips Arena. What's been the reaction to it around Atlanta, and how often do you guys have these halftime shows at the Phillips Arena?
Yeah, the Hawks like to do these pretty often, especially lately when they have, you know, this team, it's not a secret that the Hawks don't have a ton of success like drawing a lot of fans a lot of the time. So for Wednesday's game against the Kings, they were trying to, you know, get a little bit more action going with that concert. So they have probably, you know, one every couple of weeks, maybe even once a month, that kind of thing. They're not always the biggest names. Sometimes they have some pretty big guns in there. And yeah, it did not go over very well. Candidly, I missed part of this. I was grabbing coffee, as people might do during halftime when they're covering the game. So I got to see the end of it live in the arena, but immediately I got a lot of tweets talking about, sort of asking me if it was as bad as it seemed, and yeah, it did not go particularly well. It's sort of it's always a situation. It's always worth pointing out that, you know, arena basketball setups are not necessarily conducive to live concerts all the time, but yeah, it was one of the ones that did not go particularly well.
Yeah, if I knew 21 Savage was going to perform, I would have been with you going to get some coffee myself. All right, Brad, let's get you out on this. Who wins tonight? Give me a prediction.
You know, it's tough to pretty much. I can't pick the Hawks. It's one of those things where, you know, Boston. It's sort of a weird spot coming off a huge win in Golden State and all the win streak stuff. I think the Hawks should be up for this game. They played them tight earlier, as you kind of mentioned, in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. But still, I think it'd be pretty crazy to actually pick the Hawks to win. I think they might be able to hang around for 3.5 quarters here. But you know, Boston's just so much better, and they're playing so well right now that it'd be pretty tough to pick against them.
All right, he is Brad Rowland of SB Nation's Peachtree Hoops. You can find him on Twitter at BT Rowland. On Twitter, again, that is at BT Rowland. Brad, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
It's my pleasure. Always happy to do it, man.
All right, and with that, we'll wrap up this edition of the Celtics pregame report. Tune into tonight's postgame show that will air immediately following tonight's game on clnsmedia.com. You can call in toll-free at 347-215-7771 after the game to join the show. Or, just like this show, you can listen to it on demand on the CLNS Media mobile app. Weekday shows air on the Celtics Newsfeed channel on iTunes, Stitcher, and the CLNS Media mobile app. For today's Boston Celtics pregame report with Josue Pavone, this is Josue Pavone signing off.